North Central Florida Congresswoman Cammack spoke about the committee she's been assigned to as part of the 118th Congress.
The House member says she recently returned from a trip to the border and feels the impact of drugs coming into the country is felt in every town, especially Ocala. Cammack says as a result of the work done in Ocala and Marion County to combat the opioid epidemic, Congress will consider legislation in the next quarter titled the Graham Act.
It is named after Ocala former police chief Greg Graham, but it is the model that we would like to see moving forward across the country. Instead of throwing $62 billion at research to study fentanyl and the impacts on the brain, we would like to actually direct those resources in helping our local communities combat the opioid epidemic.
Cammack says the legislation will prioritize increasing the numbers of beds and mental health services available for people in recovery. Former Police Chief Greg Graham, who died in a plane crash in 2020, led several initiatives to help people struggling with addiction.